The video gaming industry has come a long way from when it first originated. Video gaming is basically commonplace in today's life, but back then is viewed as a child's toy or just pastime. But now people are making money off it, off just playing the games. The games look like movies. It's insane. It's ridiculous. So today I'm going to take you guys through a brief history of how the video gaming industry came to be and just a little history behind consoles and video games. So first, let's start with the beginning. The Nintendo Entertainment System. Yes, I'm not starting with the Atari 2600 because it almost single-handedly killed the video gaming industry. With one game, E.T. Yes, E.T. by Steven Spielberg is the worst video game ever released. It was so bad and killed the whole industry that over 800,000 Atari 2600 games were dumped into New Mexico City's landfill, and over 200,000 of them were E.T. in 1983, according to Joseph Lewandowski. So, back to Nintendo. NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, released October 18th, 1985. But at this point in time, Nintendo was a thing for almost 100 years. It came to be in 1889, and in this article from Business Insider it states, in the early 1900s, Nintendo grew to be the largest card-selling business in Japan. It used this momentum to venture into other businesses like taxi services, selling noodles, and more notably, video games. Obviously, the video gaming industry worked out for them, considering they're worth billions and billions of dollars at this point in time. But back to the beginning. NES. By today's standards, the graphics don't hold up well, super simple gameplay, but kind of like the video gaming industry as a whole, it was just a humble beginning to show us what could be done now and what was later for the future. It introduced us to all these iconic faces, Mario, Link, Mega Man, Donkey Kong, introduced us to all these well-known characters. So, after this, let's jump a little bit into the future, what everybody's wanting. 3D gaming. Revolution's born when 3D gaming hits. Nintendo 64 releases. It's the biggest console out right now at this point in time because of one game, Super Mario 64. Nintendo were the masters of the 3D, revolutionizing it because they knew how to do it properly. They knew you wanted to look way like this, look all around like this, and they did it. Somehow they did it at this point in time. But there's also another console called the Sony PlayStation that released after it. But before I talk about that, they were originally in a partnership to release an add-on for the Super Nintendo, where you could insert discs to the Super Nintendo called the Sony Nintendo. Yeah, not a good name, but obviously the deal fell through and they went on to do their own console, which blew up, the PS1. Now, at this point in time, the big games were 3D platformers. You had to have a face with this platformer to be recognizable and stand out from the crowd. And to directly combat Nintendo, Sony released Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon, which are their own 3D platformers and stand out on their own and have done successfully well. But also, the big thing with the PlayStation is like their partnership with Nintendo, they implemented CDs, which hold more RAM, hold more storage, and they also introduced us into the world of adult gaming. Two main instances of this were Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy VII. They started a debate where video games could be intended for everybody, and it's not just a child's toy. It could be enjoyed and loved by everybody. So even though it had a rough start, this was arguably the best time to be a gamer because it had all these iconic games and franchises that were being released, and better hardware was releasing also. But let's take a dive into the future generation. So, the PS4 and the Xbox One are the current generations of console out now. Everybody's seen them, obviously, because it's the ones out now, but the graphics are insane. They're lifelike. It's like I'm touching myself on this game. They have streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, can stream sports. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. But they also took a bigger step into the adult gaming industry, mainly Obviously, you had all the Call of Duties, the Battlefield, you had all that. But arguably, the biggest instance for this was Fortnite. At one point in time last year, Fortnite was the #1 selling video game of all time. And this is a free game you can download. It's insane how much money they made off of a free game. But everybody knows Drake. Yes, the rapper Drake, and Travis Scott, and the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. They all played this game with a streamer named Ninja. And according to The Verge, they attracted over 600,000 streamers, which is on record to be the most streaming in a streaming service. And that's another big thing with the new generations of consoles that introduced us to streaming video games. You can stream any and every video game you want and tune in thousands of viewers. And you can make money off of doing this. It's insane. Gaming has come truly a long way. But the next consoles are everything times 100. Load times are absent on the PlayStation 5. No loading times whatsoever. They also introduced something called ray tracing into the newest consoles. According to Tom's guide, it describes ray tracing as light bouncing off of surfaces and into our eyes. So it's like real-time light into the game, like how this light right here. See this light? It's how ray tracing is. It's very nice. But I just wanted to take you guys on a brief history of gaming. Showed you how far it's come and how much farther it can go, considering that they can make movies basically out of video games at this point. But I just wanted to thank you for letting me speak this topic, and I hope you guys have a good one.